TIL that Puff the Magic Dragon really was written as a children's poem and isn't a euphemism for smoking weed. It still makes me cry to this day. The first time I heard it I was just about old enough to understand it, and to understand that I was about to grow up like Jackie Piper does. It was a really heartbreaking moment, coupled with the imagery of Puff, for want of a better word, starting to die. The song has a happy ending for Puff, but Jackie moves on forever, just like I realized I would have to. I'm tearing up now, fuck. I knew Lenny Lipton a bit, who wrote the lyrics poem. He was an interesting guy. I knew him from his innovative engineering work on 3D projection. He invented the Z-screen, which is used in a majority of digital 3D projected films. If the poem was about drugs he would have absolutely admitted it. It just wasn't, but he understood why people thought it was. He passed away 2 years ago. Just because it was written as a children's poem doesn't mean it hasn't become a euphemism for smoking weed. It's 100% a euphemism for smoking weed regardless of the original intent. Terrible title. You ask anyone that smokes weed and they'll know Puff the Magic Dragon means smoke week. The article doesn't even back up your title. How bad of a poster are you, good lord? You know, I like to shake my head and scoff at those folks on Genius who think every song has a hidden druggy meaning, but then I humble myself by remembering that I thought Soundgarden's song Spoon Man was about heroin for years and not a street performer who plays the spoons. I think everybody who is a millennial, such as I, or older, already knew this. I didn't think people still believed that. I thought this myth was dispelled many times over already. Actually it def was, but I guess this is something Gen Z hasn't been as aware of. It is like how people insist like a prayer is actually about performing oral sex on a man. If you pull one or two phrases out of context it might seem like that. But if you take in the entire lyric in context, no, not really. Do people unironically think the song is actually about weed? Like, even if you don't clue into the metaphor about growing up, it's clearly not about marijuana if you listen to any of the words aside from the title. No, Puff the Magic Dragon just has been absolutely adopted by the 1960 weed movement in their culture. Similar to the frog for racist. Or don't tread on me flag for right-wing nihilist Republicans. I think it should be obvious I'm a fan of drugs, but damn, we're potheads annoying with the wink wink nudge nudge shit, especially before widespread legalization. Like, goddamn, I get it lols. Still kinda baffled that people think it's about drugs. Like, I get the title is Seuss but the lyrics clearly aren't. Kinda hate that this song gets associated with drugs so much that it's kinda ruined it. Pedro ended up as a family friend when I was young. Happenstance, right? As such, up until almost university, the only concerts I'd ever been to were Peter, Paul and Mary. I was not popular. They have been adamant about it not being about drugs for over 60 years. Unless they are playing the biggest long con in the history of pop music, I think Peter, Paul and Mary are telling the truth. My mom is a sweet, innocent, somewhat naive person. She used to sing this song to me as a kid. To this day, I'm sure she has no idea some people think it's about drugs. It's not like a bunch of hippie folk singers who sing hippie folk songs for hippie folks wouldn't have easily gotten away with openly singing about weed. We sang this in school growing up. Even when I started smoking I never associated it with weed. It just sounds like a kid's song. I wanna go on record and say that Jackie Piper was an asshole. What, a dragon's not enough to keep your interest? Yump, we learned this song in school in Canada, or maybe it was in camp, I can't remember, on account of being stoned. That song was about a close air support plane used in Vietnam. Get it right, you non-patriotic fucking hippies. Just because it's not a euphemism about smoking weed doesn't mean it's not a euphemism about smoking weed. I always thought this was obvious. You would have to deeply inhale the magic dragon to get high. I still have sealing wax my dad bought me because I was interested in it from hearing the song. Just because it's for kids doesn't mean it isn't about weed. It's not exactly subtle. Next you're going to tell me California Dreaming isn't about fucking your dad? So it's not about the eponymous Vietnam era C-130 aerial minigun platform? Why the fuck would anyone think it's about weed? How stupid could you be? So, Hank Hill was right. Still going to say I am Puffin the Magic Dragon when I'm ripping the bong? Wait till you hear the backstory of Snort the Intense Gargoyle. Most people don't know the full song's lyrics. It's sad as fuck. I thought Puff the Magic Dragon was written about how to lay